How are you doing today, my lazies? Following my other rants and theories, I think it's about time to do a rant that needs to be done already, since so many people have different opinions and perspectives on Sakura Haruno. Let me start by saying I do hate the character, just not for the reasons the actual haters do. I do know that manga Sakura is completely different, so I will leave that tidbit there so you understand I mean anime Sakura. And with that being established, let's dive in. Now, to get the weird inconsistencies out of the way that people didn't know, Sakura and Sasuke actually did have more of a mutual liking for each other in the manga, and their relationship was much more fleshed out, unlike the travesty of what happened with the anime version. Yes, she was still weak and useless in the beginning, but she was much more respectable, at least in the manga. Now, with the good out of the way, let's start with the worst Sakura. Young Sakura in the anime is the most trash and abhorrent, heartless creature that barely gets better throughout the series. Her treatment of Naruto went from comedic to outright annoying and disrespectful. That making fun of him for being an orphan bit was insane, and how she fawns over Sasuke to belittle Naruto is unnecessary and heartless. Most people watching the series were rejects and spazzes that didn't fit in or discriminated people, so watching Naruto's life resonated with them significantly more than the average watcher after its established popularity. So to have a spoiled, bratty, wannabe popular girl violently turn down the discriminated kid really hit hard for most watchers. Now, extending a bone, she did make it very clear that she was not romantically interested in Naruto, but that doesn't give her the right to blatantly disrespect him for being a simp. Even when Naruto went through so much to protect her in the Forest of Death, and even the Shukaku fight, she still disrespects him and makes it seem like he's the problem or too weak to actually protect her, like she didn't just watch him mop the floor with Neji, Kiba, and protect her against Orochimaru when she had to motivate Sasuke to fight after he folded. I haven't, surprisingly, been deemed a spaz or weirdo, even though I was and am still pretty nerdy. So I haven't had a violent rejection like the one shown with Sakura, but even I can understand and empathize with the people that highly dislike her character and villainize her. Naruto accepted the fact that Sakura didn't like him and was going to save Sasuke no matter what, but then Sakura comes and makes the entire situation about herself, saying, "Bring Sasuke back to me," as if he's her possession or actual lover. The hurt smile from Naruto as he makes his promise to Sakura has to be one of the most heart-wrenching moments in the entire series for most guys, as that's literally the look of defeat while being forced to still be nice about it. Even in Shippuden, we see Sakura start to like Naruto and even wish he was back to his old self in the beginning because she couldn't handle the more attractive, mature Naruto. And then when he actually went back to his old self, she immediately starts violently attacking him. of course, is meant for comedic purposes, but that's the reaction you have after wishing for the old Naruto. He even asks her on a date to test if she's still head over heels for Sasuke just to boost her confidence, and she tells him to go date himself. Again, this isn't necessarily bad since we've already established she makes it very clear she's not romantically attracted, and even he came to that realization. The next rejection comes from the summit, when she tries that awful scene of trying to trick Naruto into believing she actually liked him, and even Yamato was about to swing on her. The fact that even he thought the notion was completely heartless says a lot. Naruto showing her that he doesn't like her lies and explaining that he knows she's in love with Sasuke should have been the end of this love triangle for both Naruto and Sakura to understand completely where they stand with each other. But then we get the movie The Last. Naruto The Last. While Hinata is trying to confess to Naruto and Naruto starts gradually falling for her, Sakura thinks it's a great idea to say something like, "Me and you aren't gonna work. You still have a crush on me. So let it go." Essentially. As if any scene in that movie shows Naruto fawning over Sakura in any way. The level of ego and arrogance, bruh. The level of ego and arrogance in what she told Naruto just threw the dirt on the coffin of any tiny spark of respect that might have lingered in anyone's heart that might have been trying to give her character a chance. Now that we got that emotional crap out the way, let's get to the parts that solidified my disdain for this creature. The ego and rejection were like nails in the coffin already, but let's establish what made the coffin in the first place. Looking into her character, Sakura is the absolute weakest ninja that we've seen established, and she's a main character in part 1 of Naruto. The fact that she even had a line like, "Sasuke thinks I'm weaker than Naruto," before the exam started is absurd and plays into that crazy ego she has. I'm looking at the pre-exams feats that she witnessed and trying to understand how she possibly thought she was anywhere near Naruto at that point. She didn't do a thing the entire mission besides guard Tazuna, and her formation was broken immediately by Zabuza the first time. She literally had no skills that could help Kakashi or the boys, so I fail to see where her ego gave her the idea that she was stronger than Naruto. There was a brief intermission of missions that Naruto failed for them between the exams time and Land of Waves in the anime at least. But even then, they weren't combat missions, so I failed to see her point. Even during the written exam, she was making fun of Naruto as if they haven't had multiple instances of why they should have teamwork. If the test didn't force all of the team to pass, she would still be belittling Naruto as if she doesn't need him for the next parts of the exam that would obviously become physical eventually. Her biggest aspect is supposed to be her intelligence. Yet, she gets outsmarted by multiple enemies in the forest of death when not even Naruto was fooled. The transformations and Sasuke's ploy to trick listeners into giving Naruto's code went completely over her head. Yet, she's supposed to be the smart one, right? Even Naruto found the genjutsu and substitution with the demon brothers in the land of waves and in the forest with Kabuto when they were nearing the end of the path to the tower, and she's supposed to be the genjutsu expert. She almost, and I really mean almost, gained my respect with her attack on the sound trio, but it was slightly ruined after Naruto woke up, clueless of the situation, and instead of explaining it to him, she just clocks him in the head after he just recovered from injuries inflicted from protecting her. She even belittles and berates Rock Lee until he saves her just because he looks goofy. The fact that Lee saved her one time and she has significantly more respect for him than Naruto after Naruto has saved her multiple times prior is insane. Both of them are simps for her and unnaturally powerful. But she respectfully rejects Lee after a while, violently rejects Naruto, even though both still profess their attraction to her at that time. I love Rock Lee like most others. He was one of my absolute favorites in the series. But really? Her fight with Ino almost had my respect like it did Naruto himself. Till we find out the reason they even have a rivalry is over Sasuke-kun. I don't care how you try to twist this rivalry to make it make sense in your head. That story and plot point was utter trash. Ino was almost willing to let Sakura die in the forest until Shikamaru talked her into helping her over a boy? Let this sink in for a second. Ino gets smoked too. All the girls like Sasuke, but they eventually got over it, and Hinata was the only one not affected. But no one simps harder than Sakura. Besides maybe Gaara and Shippuden. Speaking of Shippuden, she almost got my respect again, as it was the first time we see her fighting with no help from the main team and take down an Akatsuki. She even cured the poison that Tsunade's rival couldn't cure. She was a cut and paste copy of Tsunade, and it was awesome. It was incredible at first. Seeing her fight Sasori and gain Chiyo's praises while finally starting to understand Naruto's plight, as she gets the Jinchuriki explanation and finally sees Itachi for the first time. The first and only time, actually. Weird, right? The Kazekage rescue almost made me think she was finally getting much needed development, and it was the best development in the entire series for a while, until she met Sasuke again. The Tenchi Bridge arc regressed her character significantly. All that development just to have it tarnished by Sasuke-kun again. Ever since that meeting, she went right back to the old Sakura, with her only saving grace being her mage potential, since we never trained her Earth style affinity or Genjutsu skills for whatever reason in 3 years. Her plan to kill Sasuke was so beyond stupid, it shouldn't even be a plot point. She uses her friends just to lie to them and then turn them against each other just to fold in the moment of truth anyway, with no one by her side that could even compete with Sasuke until Naruto and Kakashi happened to show up. Her two greatest aspects of ego and intelligence out the window the moment she sees Sasuke-kun. Now, the war is where the coffin was just buried, as we get her ego and uselessness fully established. People that try to defend her always say things like, "She's better than this side character," as if she isn't a main character. She's supposed to be better than them. And even then, it's Mostly just the other girls who are also poorly written, so congrats? They're useless too! The most famous meme of "I've finally caught up to them" is one I've had to dissect and debate too many times. For one, her greatest aspects are supposed to be genjutsu, intelligence, healing, and physical strength. Let's dissect how all of these aspects have been since outclassed by people weaker than Naruto and Sasuke, especially the ones she was comparing herself to, the Six Paths versions. For one, Boruto has already confirmed, and Shippuden already shown, that Choji, Naruto, Sasuke, and Rock Lee, at least, are physically stronger than her. Choji without butterfly mode was competing with the Ghetto statue that had 7 plus Biju absorbed, and they called him to move a boulder when she was present in a village in Boruto. Base Might Guy punched the Akatsuki boulder entrance, and his punch was compared to Sakura's, and 6th Gate Lee at this time was definitely above Base Guy now. Naruto, by extension Sasuke, just placed minuscule aura on their punches to match Sakura's without using their full awakenings or anything close to them against Madara and Kaguya. Even the games only have 2-button input for Naruto and Sasuke against Kaguya, while Sakura's is 3 buttons. Too many different media outlets showcasing her physical strength isn't even number 1 in the series or the village. Her other aspect was chakra control, as displayed as far back as a tree climbing exercise. Now, while hers is impressive, any Hyuga can match and exceed her chakra control, as seen with Hinata in the Gurren arc, matching her chakra control with no effort to seal Isabu, the Three Tails. Let alone Naruto being able to channel his KCM2 cloak to over 10,000 soldiers, amplifying their powers with a Three Tails cloak, including her. The same Three Tails cloak couldn't even help her save Shikamaru when he got tagged by the God Tree, yet post Madara bisected, healing the other Kage, Tsunade came without a cloak and tapped him on the forehead to revive him. That shows that she hasn't even surpassed Tsunade yet in medical ninjutsu, let alone Kabuto, Naruto, and Sasuke. Tsunade already claims and proved Kabuto is better at medical ninjutsu, although she was the only one that knew how to heal Orochimaru. And now he has Senjutsu enhancement and all these other powers to increase his abilities. Then we have Sasuke with the Rinnegan abilities that can revive or even revitalize bodies completely with the king of the damn jutsu that the pain bodies used to fix their bodies, or even Rinne rebirth. We even have Hashirama, who is comparable to Tsunade's mitotic regeneration that was still better than Sakura's at the time, even though Sakura did have that impressive feat of channeling it to other bodies. The Biju chakra, especially Kurama, can heal just as well, let alone Six Paths Naruto creating a new eye for Kakashi and a heart for Guy. It's like all the things that made her useful just got overshadowed by bad writing. Now, we only vaguely get a statement in Boruto that she's the best at medical ninjutsu now, even over Tsunade. Not proven, but stated. So, you just have to assume it's true. Her genjutsu prowess is non-existent, as shown with Sasuke putting her in a genjutsu before he fought Naruto, and her still somehow finding a way to simp for him, saying she'd still help him with his revolution after he projected him killing her. What is that, like Stockholm Syndrome? I don't even know what to call that. That's insane. Her final L comes from her daughter. Boruto did her extra dirty, having Sasuke never come home when he can literally teleport. A whole arc of her daughter possibly being Karin's or a surrogate, and Sasuke not knowing how his own daughter looks after a decade? That means he hasn't been home for at least a decade just to avoid seeing Sakura. And we can't say he was searching for the Otsutsuki because a whole decade and his only info came from Momoshiki appearing after 10 years. No one even forced him to do this mission. Think about that. No one forced him to do this mission. He just said that it was out of penance and he didn't find a team. He no find a team. Her own daughter barely respected her and was willing to believe she wasn't even her real mother. Not even wanting to follow her mother's footsteps. And going the route of the guy she let go that would have given her a better life that she respects more than both of her parents, understandably. Talk about a blowdown. So, to summarize, I don't like Sakura for her non-funny, disrespectful nature towards the guy that saves her the most, along with her pathetic ego that gets more embarrassed than respect. She is reduced to uselessness over the period of her career. Got the lover she didn't deserve, but the karma she needed with her neglected family that doesn't respect her, and blaming the writing doesn't take the blame away from her just because she's a terrible character. Even though the females are done dirty in this series, she is definitely the one with the most justifiable hate towards her. I pointed out the good, I pointed out the bad, and everything in between that I liked and disliked about her character, and Boruto doesn't help fix that issue no matter how you try to justify it. If you liked or disliked my rant, drop me a like, subscribe, share, and until next time, stay lazy.